Thank you for watching this video. To best support the channel, please take a moment and click the subscribe button. Also, the links to purchase this fly and the materials to tie the fly are in the description. Hey, in this video we're tying up a gurgler with a feather tail. Let's start by putting our hook in the vise and weighing down a quick thread base. The hook we're using in this specific video is a Partridge of Reddish Sea Prints model CS52 in size 2, and we're using some Semperfli classic wax thread. Once you have your thread on and you trim off the tag end, work your thread towards the back of the hook. Then we're going to go ahead and tie in some feathers for the tail. We're going to tie one on each side of the hook. I'm measuring it out so that the part sticking off the back of the hook is 1.5 hook lengths in length. Pinch that onto the side, and we'll grab our thread and we'll go ahead and get this feather locked into place. For easier tying, you may just want to trim off that excess fluffy end before you tie it in. That's what I'm going to do on this second feather, make my life a little bit easier. So we'll measure it up, then line it up to on the far side of the hook to measure it the same length as the other feather. Pinch it into place, grab our scissors and trim off the fluffy part, and then tie in. That'll make this tie-in process a little bit easier for us. Try and keep the stem on the back side of the hook just to keep the feather from spinning on you. And we're just going to work our way back to the beginning of the curve of the hook, just making sure that those feathers are sticking out the back end nice and even. Clean up any of those little loose fluffy ends. Now we're going to grab some craft foam. This is about 1/2 inch. We're just going to trim off the corners of this piece to make it a little bit easier to tie in. And we'll put that right up near the eye of the hook. And we'll fold the foam over so that we can lock it into place, lock that down nice and tight. And keep that pinch going in the back so that we can keep the foam from spinning too much on us, and so you could have it be a 50-50 split on each side of the hook. Now go all the way back to where that bend of the hook is, and just wrap that in, lock that into place. And once that's tied in, we're going to grab some Semperfli Extreme String, and the color is Pearl. You can mix and match these colors to get all sorts of crazy color patterns. We have them available in the shop, both the foam and the Extreme String. So we're going to just go ahead and palmer this forward with nice tight touching wraps. Preening those fibers back, they can get a little unruly sometimes. Just get them nice and tight, pull things back. We want this fly to have a buggy and wiggly and shiny underbody to get all the attention from those smallmouth and largemouth bass, and to be honest, anything else that wants to smash it. So we're going to wrap this up. We're going to get that close to the eye of the fly, and once we do, we're going to go through and do a quick catching wrap underneath and capture this extreme string so that we can tie it off and trim it out. Quick snip here. We're going to move our thread back just a little bit so that we have a little bit more room for our head to be tied in. And we're going to work to part these fibers and pull them down 50-50 on both sides of the hook. That'll give us some pretty solid volume underneath there, but it will also give us a clean tie-in point as well. So you can see that I'm trying to have my foam and my materials 50-50 on each side of the hook. So get those fibers out of the way. Like I mentioned, this stuff can be a little unruly. We'll get that in place, pinch it down, and we'll use our tying thread to lock everything in place nice and tight. I like doing 10 wraps. That gives me a deep channel and a nice solid lock on this fly to get everything nice and secure. Now that we have that in place, we're going to fold our foam back, and I'm going to rotate this fly real quick so you can see how I like the eye of the hook to be positioned next to the foam. I just want the eye of the fly to be barely poking out from that foam to make it a little easier to tie the fly on. So we'll pinch that in place, grab our thread, and lock that down nice and tight. Now that that's locked in place, we're going to grab a pair of sparkle bar disco legs from Nature Spirit, cut them in half, and we're going to tie those in on top of the fly with 3 wraps. Nothing too tight. We want to have the ability to move our fly legs around and get them all organized. So we're going to slide a pair of legs to each side, so you have 4 legs pointing out each direction. And even those legs out so they're even on each side of the fly. And position them how you want. Sometimes they slide in place perfectly, sometimes they give you a little bit more challenge. But once they're in place, pull the back 2 legs on each side towards the back so we can get a locking wrap in place with our thread. Pull things tight and then do a wrap right in front of it, pulling things tight. And then slide our thread underneath the foam and over the eye of the hook so we can whip finish this fly off. I like doing 2 whip finishes so I can have an added bit of durability on this fly. There's our first whip finish. Here's our second. Pull those legs back so they don't get trapped in there. You don't want to have a leg get severed off when you're doing your whip finish. Now go ahead and trim off your tying thread. And now I'm going to go ahead and trim off the folded back piece of foam. I want that so that the point of the trim goes right to the back end of the foam body that we have. And now we have a completed fly. Let's give it a little spin in the vise just to show off what we have going on here. Nice, wiggly, movement-filled fly. And I just noticed that I trimmed my foam a little bit too long, so I'm going to come back in with my scissors and trim that a little shorter. While I'm doing that, I want to remind y'all the flies are available in the shop, so are various colors of legs, feathers, extreme string, thread. We have it all. Swing by, I'd appreciate it. Also, please take a moment, subscribe to the video, and drop a comment. Appreciate you a ton. Thank you.